All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive. You know, AI is everywhere. You hear about it constantly, but what is it, really?
Well, you've come to the right place because today we're going to break it all down.
Yeah, you want to understand AI and all the hype, but maybe without like a computer science degree, right?
Exactly. And we've got some really cool stuff to help us explain it all, like a bunch of beginner guides and some great resources from IBM.
Okay, so first things first, when we say AI, artificial intelligence, what are we even talking about?
Well, think of it this way. AI is basically teaching computers to kind of think like humans, giving them the power to learn, solve problems, even be creative.
So are we talking computers taking over the world like in those sci-fi movies?
No, not really. Think of
Yeah.
it more like we're giving computers a set of tools to help them become super good at specific tasks that we want them to do.
Got it. So we're giving them superpowers, but we're still in control.
Exactly.
Okay, but how do you even start to teach a computer how to think?
Now, that is a great question, and that's where things get really interesting. One of the most common ways is this thing called machine learning.
Machine learning.
Yeah, imagine you're teaching a dog a new trick, right? And every time they do it right, you give them a treat.
Yeah, positive reinforcement.
Exactly. Well, machine learning is kind of similar. We feed computers tons and tons of data, and they use these things called algorithms to learn from that data and make predictions about like what might happen next or what something means.
So it's like we're training computers with data snacks instead of dog treats.
I like that analogy.
But what about deep learning? I hear that one all the time too. How does that fit into everything?
Deep learning. This is where things get really complex and even more powerful. Deep learning uses something called neural networks.
Neural networks?
Yeah, they're inspired by the structure of the human brain.
So they're like giving computers brain power.
Yeah. These networks can process massive amounts of data and find patterns that we humans might miss, leading to some pretty incredible results.
So is this what's behind all the buzz about generative AI? You know, the stuff that can write essays and create art? Like, I've been hearing so much about ChatGPT.
Yeah, the generative AI, that's like a subset of AI that's all about creating new content. Think of it as AI with a creative spark. And a lot of the recent breakthroughs in this area have been driven by advances in deep learning.
So we've got machine learning and deep learning and generative AI. It's like a whole family of AI concepts.
Yeah, it's all connected.
But how long has this whole AI thing been around? I'm kind of curious about the history.
Okay, so believe it or not, the idea of AI has actually been around for decades. It all started back in 1956.
1956? Wow, that's way older than I thought.
I know, right? A group of scientists got together at this place called Dartmouth College, and they basically said, hey, let's see if we can make machines think.
So that was like the birth of AI.
Pretty much.
So what were those early AI systems like? Were they writing poetry and composing symphonies?
Not quite. Those early systems were much simpler, but they were still pretty groundbreaking for their time. One of the first AI programs was called the Logic Theorist.
Logic theorist.
Yeah. And get this, it could actually prove mathematical theorems.
A computer proving theorems in the 1950s. That's pretty impressive.
It was a big deal.
So things have obviously come a long way since then.
Oh, absolutely. There have been some major milestones along the way. Alan Turing, the brilliant mathematician who cracked the Enigma code during World War II.
Yeah.
Well, he also came up with this thing called the Turing test.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's basically a way to measure a machine's intelligence by seeing if it can fool a human into thinking it's another human.
So has any computer passed the Turing test yet?
That's a great question, and the answer is it's complicated. There have been some AI systems that have come close, but whether they've truly passed the Turing test is still up for debate.
Interesting.
What's more important, though, is that we've seen some truly impressive feats of AI over the years, things that would seem impossible just a few decades ago.
Like, give me some examples.
Okay, well, back in 1997, remember IBM's Deep Blue supercomputer? It made history by defeating Garry Kasparov, the reigning world chess champion at the time.
Yeah, I remember that it was a huge deal.
It was a monumental achievement showing that AI could compete with the best human minds in a game of strategy and intellect.
Yeah, beating a chess grandmaster is no easy feat.
Nope!
What else?
Well, and just a few years ago, a program called AlphaGo.
AlphaGo.
Yeah, it was powered by a deep neural network, and it defeated a world champion Go player.
Go, the board game.
Yeah, Go is an ancient board game that's even more complex than chess. It has more possible moves than there are atoms in the universe.
Wow.
So that was another major leap forward for AI.
So AI has come a long way from proving simple theorems.
It really has.
But these are all games, right? How is AI actually impacting our everyday lives like in the real world?
That's the question, isn't it? Like, how is it actually impacting our lives? And the truth is, it already is in ways we might not even realize.
Like how?
Well, think about it. You get those personalized recommendations on Spotify or Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Like how do they know I'd be so into that true crime documentary?
Exactly. That's AI at work, analyzing your viewing habits and predicting what you might enjoy.
Ah,
And then there are those virtual assistants like Siri and Alexa, always ready to answer our questions or set a timer.
oh, I feel like I can't live without my smart speaker these days.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And they
Wow.
use natural language processing, which is a branch of AI that helps computers understand and respond to human speech.
Right.
And let's not forget about self-driving cars. Those rely on a really complex blend of AI techniques to navigate roads and make decisions in real time.
Self-driving cars still feel kind of futuristic to me.
I know, it's wild, but it's amazing to think about how AI is becoming such a big part of our daily lives, right?
It really is.
But it's not just about, making our lives more convenient or entertaining. AI is also making waves in other fields like healthcare and finance and even art and music.
Okay, now you're really piquing my interest, so tell me more about how AI is being used in these different fields.
Okay, well, let's start with healthcare. Imagine AI algorithms that can analyze medical images like X-rays and MRIs
Yeah.
to detect diseases like even earlier than human doctors can.
Wow, that's incredible. Early detection can make such a difference in treating so many diseases.
Absolutely. And in finance, AI is being used to detect fraudulent transactions and protect our financial information.
Oh, yeah?
It's like having this incredibly vigilant security guard watching over our accounts 24/7.
That does give me a lot more peace of mind about online banking.
Right. And then how about AI-powered tools that can personalize our learning experiences or create new forms of art and music?
Yeah.
AI is even being used to help scientists tackle climate change and develop new sources of renewable energy.
It sounds like AI has the potential to solve some of the biggest challenges facing humanity.
It really does. But it's important to remember that, AI is a tool, and like any tool can be used for good or for bad.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to think about the ethical implications of AI and ensure that it's developed and used responsibly.
You're right. We need to make sure we're using this powerful technology wisely. But shifting gears a bit, I'm curious about the different types of AI that exist. You mentioned machine learning and deep learning earlier, but are there other categories as well?
Yeah, there are. Another way to think about AI is to categorize it by its capabilities. We often talk about narrow or weak AI versus general or strong AI.
Okay, break it down for me. What's the difference between those two?
Okay, so think of narrow AI as AI that's really good at one specific task, like playing chess or recognizing faces.
Uh-huh.
This is the kind of AI we have today. It can be incredibly powerful, but it's limited in scope. It can't think for itself or understand the world in a broader sense.
So it's like a specialist and expert in one particular area.
Exactly. Now, general AI, that's more like the AI we see in science fiction movies.
Right.
It's a hypothetical type of AI that would possess human-level intelligence and the ability to learn and perform any intellectual task that a human can.
So it's like a super intelligent AI that can do it all.
That's the idea. But it's important to remember that general AI doesn't exist yet, and some experts believe it may never be possible to create.
Okay.
We're still a long way from having robots that can truly think like humans.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a relief, honestly.
Yeah.
But if we're mostly dealing with narrow AI right now, what are some of the specific ways it's being used in different fields? You mentioned healthcare and finance earlier, but I'm curious to hear more examples.
Sure. Well, in healthcare, AI is being used to analyze medical images, like we talked about, but also to diagnose diseases and even develop new treatments.
Oh, wow.
Imagine AI algorithms that can personalize treatment plans based on a patient's unique genetic makeup and medical history.
That sounds like personalized medicine taken to a whole new level.
Mm.
It's incredible to think about how AI can be used to tailor treatments to each individual's needs.
It is. And in the financial world, AI is being used to detect fraud, manage investments, and personalize financial advice. It's like having an incredibly savvy financial advisor who can analyze massive amounts of data and help you make smarter decisions about your money.
That would definitely take some of the stress out of managing my finances.
Right. And then what about other industries? Like retail AI is being used to personalize shopping recommendations, manage inventory, and even optimize pricing. Imagine walking into a store where the shelves are stocked with exactly what you want. And you get personalized discounts based on your past purchases.
That sounds like a shopper's dream come true.
I know, right? And let's not forget about transportation. AI is playing a key role in the development of self-driving cars, which have the potential to revolutionize the way we get around, making our roads safer and more efficient.
It's amazing to think how widespread AI's impact already is. But what about those concerns about AI taking over jobs? It's a topic that comes up a lot in discussions about AI, and it's understandable that people are worried.
It's definitely a valid concern, and it's something we need to talk about openly and honestly. Throughout history, technological advancements have often led to job displacement,
Right.
and it's likely that some jobs will be automated as AI technology continues to advance. But it's important to remember that AI is also creating new jobs and opportunities.
So it's not just about jobs disappearing, but also about new jobs emerging.
Exactly. The key is to adapt and develop the skills that will be in demand in an AI-powered world.
So what kinds of skills are we talking about?
Well, for example, we'll need people who can design, develop, and maintain AI systems. We'll also need people who can interpret the results of AI analysis and make decisions based on that information.
So it's not about AI replacing humans, but rather about humans and AI working together.
Precisely, the key is to embrace the potential of AI while also preparing for the changes it will bring. And that means investing in education and training programs that equip people with the skills they need to thrive in an AI-driven world.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about adapting and evolving alongside this technology.
Yeah.
But speaking of evolving, what are some of the most exciting developments on the horizon in the world of AI? Like, what's next for this game-changing technology?
One area that's particularly exciting is the development of user-friendly AI platforms.
User-friendly AI platforms.
Yeah, these platforms are making it easier for people without technical expertise to build and deploy their own AI solutions.
So you don't need to be a computer scientist to harness the power of AI.
That's right. These platforms are democratizing access to AI, which is opening up a whole new world of possibilities for businesses, researchers, and even individuals.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It sounds like AI is becoming more accessible to everyone. What else is on the horizon?
Another exciting development is the increasing integration of AI with other technologies like the Internet of Things, IoT, and cloud computing.
So we're talking about smart homes that anticipate our needs, connected cars that drive themselves, and cities that manage resources more efficiently.
Exactly. The convergence of these technologies is creating a truly interconnected world where AI plays a central role, helping us solve complex problems and improve our lives in countless ways.
It's both exciting and a bit overwhelming to think about all the ways AI is shaping our world.
It is, but I think it's important to approach AI with a sense of curiosity and optimism.
Yeah.
We're living in a time of incredible technological advancement, and AI has the potential to make our lives better in countless ways.
I agree, and I'm eager to see what the future holds for this amazing technology.
Me too. And I think the key is to stay informed, engage in thoughtful discussions about the implications of AI, and work together to ensure that it's used for the benefit of humanity.
Now, before we wrap up our deep dive into AI, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, the amazing potential of generative AI.
Oh, yeah.
It's a field that's been generating a lot of buzz lately, and for good reason. It seems like everyone's talking about AI that can create art, music, and even write stories.
You're right. Generative AI is a fascinating and rapidly evolving field. It's all about AI systems that can create new content, whether it's text, images, music, or even code. And it's
Yes.
really pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible with AI.
I've been playing around with some of these generative AI tools myself,
Yeah.
and it's pretty mind-blowing what they can do. It's like having a creative partner who can help you generate ideas and bring them to life.
It is, and the potential applications are vast in marketing. For example, generative AI can be used to create personalized content, generate ad copy, and even design websites.
Wow, so AI is becoming a creative powerhouse.
In a way it is, and in the entertainment industry, generative AI is being used to create music, write scripts, and even generate special effects for movies. It's opening up a whole new world of creative possibilities.
It's incredible to think about the creative potential that generative AI is unlocking. It's like
Right.
AI is expanding the horizons of human creativity.
Precisely. And it's important to remember that we're still in the very early stages of generative AI development.
Yeah.
Who knows what amazing things will be possible in the years to come.
I can't wait to find out. But for now, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of AI. It's been an incredible journey, and I hope our listeners have enjoyed it as much as we have.
Yeah, it really has been an incredible journey, like exploring this whole world of AI. It's amazing to think about how AI is not only changing the way we work, but also like pushing the boundaries of what's possible in so many different fields.
Absolutely. And, one area where generative AI is really making a splash is in that content creation. We touched on it a bit already, but I think it's worth diving a little deeper.
Oh, for sure. I've been seeing like AI generated art and music popping up everywhere online. It's crazy how realistic and sophisticated it's becoming.
It really is, and it's not just about creating like visually stunning images or catchy tunes. Generative AI can also be used to write articles, poems, even entire books.
Wow, that's both exciting and a little intimidating for us writers,
I know what you mean, but I think it's important to view generative AI as a tool that can like augment human creativity, not replace it. Think of it as a collaborator. You know,
A partner that can help us explore new ideas and push the boundaries of our imagination.
so instead of fearing AI as a competitor, we can kind of embrace it as a creative ally.
Exactly. Imagine a world where writers can use generative AI to brainstorm ideas, overcome writer's block, or even translate their work into different languages.
That's pretty cool.
That's like having a built-in brainstorming partner, editor, and translator all rolled into one.
That would be amazing. And for artists and musicians, it could like open up a whole new world of possibilities.
Absolutely. Generative AI can help them explore new styles, experiment with different sounds and visuals, and even create entirely new genres of art and music.
It's like AI is giving us a whole new set of tools to express ourselves creatively. It's really inspiring.
It is, and I think that's one of the most exciting things about generative AI. It's not just about automating tasks, it's about unlocking new levels of human potential. It's about expanding the horizons of what's possible and pushing the boundaries of human creativity.
I love that perspective. It's not about AI versus humans, but about AI empowering humans.
Exactly, and I think that's a key message to keep in mind as we continue to explore this vast and ever-evolving world of AI. It's a powerful tool that can be used for good or for ill, but ultimately it's up to us humans to guide its development and ensure that it's used responsibly.
Well said, and I think that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of AI. It's been an incredible journey, and I hope you, our listener, have enjoyed it as much as we have.
I agree. It's been a fascinating conversation, and I've really enjoyed exploring this topic with you.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the basics of what AI is to the mind-blowing possibilities of generative AI. We talked about how AI is already impacting our lives in countless ways and how it has the potential to shape our future in ways we can only imagine.
And we've emphasized the importance of approaching AI with both excitement and a sense of responsibility. AI is a powerful tool, and it's up to us to ensure that it's used for good.
So to our listener, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into AI. We hope you've gained some valuable insights into this transformative technology and its impact on our world.
We encourage you to continue exploring and learning about AI. It's a field that's constantly evolving, and there's always something new to discover.
And remember, the future of AI is in our hands. Let's use this powerful tool wisely to create a better future for ourselves and for generations to come.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.